Quick disclaimer, this is by no means a financial advice. Trading carries a high level of risk, so any decision you make should be based on your own analysis. This is solely based for educational purposes, and yeah, expressing myself, sharing my journey online. Okay, so yeah, let's dive right into what we have today. All right, we're looking at AUD, and yeah, if you're getting familiar with my stuff, I believe this is where this line represents my trading session. Okay, and this is Monday, where the first time I was in the market for the week. Okay, 8:30 to this session from 8:30 to 4 p.m. Yeah, so let's see what happened that day. Okay, now there's a new concept I've been talking about. I'm talking about now a supply to demand switch. I just started paying attention into it. I've been actually doing it, but I just started paying more attention to it. Okay, so now looking at this the supply to demand, I believe if you're looking for the supply to demand, yeah, there was a place. Let's see, a break of structure occurred. Let me see an equal high. So well, this is where there was no reaction here. I wasn't part of the market because there was no clear entry, and yeah, okay, this is actually where I should have been in the market due to the supply to demand. Okay, looking at this now, this is a break of structure. Okay, so as you can see, when there's no trade, there's no trade. When there's no trade, there's no trade, because looking at this, there's no reaction. Even if I had set my entry here, this would have been my entry, but then there was no reaction there. So when there's no trade, there's no trade. All right, yeah, and now looking at this, this is a break of structure here, and then there's a supply to demand switch. It's a good way to follow the market. Okay, looking at this now, this was the low that broke this highs, here. This was the low that broke this highs. So the next entry I believe should be here. Next entry I believe should be here. Price to demand. So supply is also applies from demand to supply as well. So this is what but this is a supply to demand. This is a supply zone reacted from a demand. Broke structure. Then where did the market come to next? Exactly the supply to demand for this lows. Okay, then there's a break of structure. If you had entered with that, let's see the risk to reward. Let's see the risk to reward. If you had entered with that, I wasn't part of the market. I just started paying that much attention, I think, on Wednesday or so. I started paying that much attention, how much you can easily just trust it and follow the price action immediately without even having to counter trend yourself or doubt yourself. Okay, the market topped at, if you have been patient enough to wait just a day, the market topped at 1 to 26. Okay, so yeah, I missed that because of I wasn't paying that much attention to supply to demand switch. And if I had gone to the 5 minutes, let's see the 5 minutes. Oh, as you can see, there was a 5 minutes break of structure. Wow. You see, after reacting from that, there was a 5 minutes break of structure. This never reacted from this. As you can see, there was some space. Never reacted from this. This market came to fill it up. Yeah. Wow. Okay, looking at the 5 minutes now. Okay, this would have been the actual 5 minutes you use. This would have been the actual 5 minutes you use after that reaction. Let me take that back. Okay, that was 15 minutes. This is 15 minutes. 15. Okay, block, and I'll mark out this now for the 5 minutes. Yeah, I'll mark out that for the 5 minutes. As you can see, there was a reaction there easily. There was a reaction there easily. And then what happened? 15. Let's see how many pips entry. Okay, because that would have been my actual entry if I wanted to enter the market using the 5 minutes. So then there was a reaction from the supply to demand. So let's see. pips. I'm used to giving spaces for my entries these days. Okay, since large, but I'll give it 5 pips. Okay, so with the 5 pips, this is actually a 1 to 19 trade, even lesser than just from the supply to demand, but that's fine. It makes you more sure of the entry. Okay, you trust the entry more. So now looking at what happened, this was the supply to demand switch, right? Good. And now what happened here? Market bought. I was waiting for this market to get to this point. Okay, firstly I was waiting for the market to get to this point, so I wait for my entries. I told you that at this point I wasn't trusting this supply to demand here, but after seeing it here again, I felt like, okay, I believe I could trust this. So now I was waiting for my entries here, looking at the 5 minutes, I was waiting for my entries here and here. Okay, the market was ranging all through. Market ranged all through. I was pissed, man. So I tried getting into the sales, like, okay, probably let me take some sales here and get to this place for the buys, Then I ended up taking two loss for the week. I ended up taking 2 loss for the week. That's why I always talk about patience. Okay, so that was like me actually going against my rules, which I knew, okay, yes, they were my fault. Those losses were my fault. I told my friend, because I was with them, I told them, okay, yeah, these losses were my fault, so I got to accept that. Okay, well, then what happened was CP high. I think after these losses, I just stayed away from the markets. I knew the CPI news was coming out. What did I say? I just say boom, straight up to the extreme. Okay, taking out this decision, that was fine by me, because I was actually waiting for my entry criteria to play out when it gets there. So when coming there with the news, I wasn't part of the entry. But looking at this again, I want you guys to pay something. If you're looking at the bigger perspective, these highs, looking at the bigger perspective, okay, this was the actual highs that broke this low. So looking at these highs where the market broke, okay, where did it start from? These were the lows that took liquidity, reacted from a supply to demand, and now is a supply to demand in itself. Going down to the 15 minutes, you'll see it clearly. You see, and now it is a supply to demand in itself. The high, the low. Okay, reacting from there. Now it is supply to demand in itself. This is actually, let me change that. Okay, supply to demand. Supply to demand in itself, and you can see the market just reacted from there, and the CPI bought so like crazy. The CPI bought like crazy. It moved at least up all the way to these highs. This would have been if you had used this entry, but no, I was waiting for a 5 minutes break of structure, something like this for me to enter. But then coming in with the news, I just stayed away from the markets all through the week. Then I was in sales here. Great. And tell me, how did I get into these sales? I was supposed to take sales from here, but the market never got there, as you can see. Okay, but first, this was what happened. Price action, be in the moment. This was my lows. What happened here? The market reacted from there, gave a little bullish intent. Then what do you see? This a low, a high, break of structure. This highs now broke this structure completely, this and this. So what do you think? I trusted this highs. I set my entry here. Using the 15 minutes. I used the 15 minutes. I was supposed to use 5 minutes. I used the 15 minutes. Okay, I was supposed to use 5 minutes. This was supposed to be my actual entry, but then I used the 15 minutes because of this. To avoid any problem, I had to just go to like, okay, yeah, the 15 minutes, and where's it? So, yeah, as you can see, I used the 15 minutes bullish candle from here. But then looking at it, this was where the imbalance actually ended. So if I had been more patient, I would have gotten the full reward of the trade, which actually would, this one, what I actually got to 1 to 2 before it took me out break even. As you can see, it took me out break even. It came back and took me out break even. Okay, but then having to trust the supply to demand now, I understand you have to just be very cautious. As you can see, okay, you have to just be very cautious. Okay, this was, where did you get it? Okay, it topped here, yeah, before it took me out 1 to 2. Then it took me out. But then if I had gone with my right entry, this would have been my 5 minutes easily. Let's say 6.5. Let's just say, okay, 7 pips to be safe. I will not use the 7 pips. That's 6.9. No? Okay, not much, but then this is the difference, 1 to 5. It topped at the 1 to 5. Okay, and now that is the only difference. It was just what, me trusting my supply to demand strategy. Okay, immediately the market breaks, the trust, and this was the highs. What happened again? The market came back to the highs of this entry, because remember, this lows, this high that broke this low was also part of this highs. Okay, let me mark it out here so you see what I'm talking about. These highs that actually broke this lows, and this lows, this and this was actually a part of this high. Okay, so the market gets back there, and what happens again? You see the strong reaction straight into this demand where the bullish intent started from. But as you can see, all this happened during the Asian time. I saw them in the morning, so I wasn't part of the trade. And yeah, I made a mistake again that I know, okay, I've not made in a very long time, which is not executing my trade. That happened to me where on Thursday. Okay, I was waiting for buys all the way from here. Okay, trusting the supply to demand. Now what happened? From here, the market broke this size. The market what did it do? Came back. Yeah, okay, I think I'll trust this more when I see there's a liquidity around this my supply to demand entry. Okay, so the market came back there. What did it do? Bought straight up. This was easily a 1 to 8 trade, but then this was not in my time. This was just 7:45. So yeah, the market came to my highs. This was where I actually budgeted. Took this as a liquidity grab. I was ignorant. I saw a 5 minutes break of structure here. I was supposed to be part of this trade, as you can see. I was supposed to be part of this trade, but you know, for some reason I missed it. Like, I stayed away because I just felt, okay, after this would fail, it will react from this and it will keep buying and stuff like that. It will react from this and it will keep buying. So I actually set my entry here, feeling like, okay, yeah, look at all this liquidity, it will react from this. But looking at the higher time frame perspective, let's go to 15 minutes. I'm not even going far. Looking at the higher time frame perspective, what am I supposed to do? This is a high, this is a low. So now this is supposed to be a high, I'm expecting a low. But yeah, I think I just, was ignorant, and that happened. That passed me by, and this was what ended as a top 31 to 18 trade. But still, no hard feelings, I know we're going to be there. But then I was present for this, and as you can see, there was no break of structure and entry. I think was I present for this? I wasn't present for this yet. Looking at the time, it's 8 p.m. And I marked this out, but I wasn't present for this because of the time as well. But then there was not even 5 minutes break of structure entry. Okay, we did do that. I probably did that here with shit, but I wasn't there. And now here, as you can see, this happened again. Friday. This is what happened Friday. The market ended. Okay, this was my supply. This is my demand. Yeah, what I told you I missed was, okay, this buys. I missed these buys because I did not look at my daily time frame structure. That is why I'm just showing you guys what happened in the week, during the week. Okay, during the week, that was just like a ranging market during the week. But then after the range broke, I should have been more cautious to go back to the higher time frame perspective and see what is happening, because as you can see, the market reacted from a daily demand and continued buying. But I was waiting for the market to react at the 4-hour demand here, so I was ignorant completely of the daily. I was waiting for the market to react at the 4-hour demand here, so I was ignorant of these buys, and that was what happened for Friday move. Okay, the Friday move were just buys from the morning, as you can see. Okay, this was from 11, 12. The market just started buying. Yeah, I was expecting for the market to actually trigger me here, because immediately I saw this demand has been taken out. Sorry, I saw this supply has been taken out. This now is the supply to demand. Okay, this now is the supply to demand. I was actually expecting the market to come back there and give me an entry for Friday, but as you can see, the bullish intent was so strong, it never did. So I believe, yeah, I had my entries here, but I deleted them before I slept. Before 8 or 8 p.m. I think I deleted them around somewhere by 5, 6. I deleted my entries there. So yeah, on Monday I'll be present to the market to see what happens, now we have to go down to the higher time frame perspective and see what we're expecting for the week. Okay, though, yeah, looking at it from this lower time frame perspective, if I get to see something like this, I mean, but yeah, we'll get there. So daily, looking at the daily, what do we see? A supply to demand kind of scenario. Okay, this was the supply that broke this low, this was the high that broke this low. As you can see, the market consolidated a lot, getting here, breaking structure, but still failing to continue going down. So here, this turned to a demand zone, which the market never reacted from, creating all this as liquidity. Okay, creating all this as liquidity. So now looking at this, what do we see? The market just reacted from the daily. So still leaving some liquidity. So there's a chance this sell from right now, looking at what is happening in the daily structure. What's actually happening? There's now a daily supply here for the current price action. I'm okay, there's a daily supply here for the current price action. Okay, this supply there for the current price action. Going down to the 4-hour, what do you see? There's a reaction from the daily already. There's a reaction in the daily supply already, which looks like a liquidity grab all the way towards the supply. This was what happened at the reaction at the supply to demand area. Okay, this was the reaction at the supply to demand area for the sales to continue. So now the market has not broken any structure for us to be trustworthy of the buys. So we're expecting to see sales. Okay, the current price action is telling us sales. We're expecting to see sales all the way where to these sales from here all the way to these zones. Okay, it's feeling the imbalance, and probably the buys could continue playing out, or or the sales could just play out. Okay, yeah, we could see sales all the way from here. I don't know the way the market is going to distribute and get there, but I believe we could see sales all the way from these zones, so these demands here, or we could see sales all the way from these highs. We could see sales all the way from these highs down. Okay, and then we could see buys all the way from this to this. All right, so we have to control the market. We just have to be patient, focused, and disciplined, to be able to execute when we see our entry in any of these zones. In this case, my entry. Okay, so you have to do your own analysis, and yeah, if you're familiar with smart money, if you have any conversation, any questions, you could drop in the comment section. Okay, yeah, and if you actually did stay all the way to this points in the video, I believe I hope you gained a lot, and yeah, like and subscribe. Okay, let us know how we're doing. Peace, and see you guys in the next one.